time? What about you and what you want? That's by and large how much of our culture thinks regarding children. But the Word of God says, no, no, no. Whenever you involve God in your life, God builds your life, God rewards your life with precious children. They're a heritage from the Lord, a reward from the Lord. And you're not miserable, you're in fact happy if you have many of them in your home. Now, with those thoughts in mind, I want you to think about something incredible that I want us to use the remainder of our time this evening to direct our thoughts. We're learning from this psalm that life is only meaningful when I let God be a part of it. When I let God build my life in every way imaginable. When I do that, God blesses me as the rewarder of my life with these precious children in my care. And God says, let me tell you what those children are like. Those children I've given to you are like arrows in the hand of a warrior. God's the one that created that analogy. God's the one that inspired Solomon to make that comparison. Children are like arrows. Whenever you and I just press pause and think about that thought, I think it can revolutionize how we view ourselves as parents. And how we think about the responsibility we have of taking those little arrows that have been given to us by God and making sure they're sent back to God, the one who gave them. If we really think about this comparison that God is making for us in this psalm, I believe it can help us better fulfill our responsibility to prepare our children for that reality of one day moving out of our homes and being ready to live for the Lord when they do that. So I want you to think with me about 5 ways, based on what we find in this psalm, 5 ways children are like arrows. 5 lessons we can learn from arrows to help us be better parents and prepare our children to one day meet the Lord. Number 1, arrows need to be formed. Arrows need to be formed. An arrow doesn't just magically appear. A craftsman must design the arrow. He must then go and gather all the resources he needs to craft the arrow. He must then use his skills and no short amount of patience and hard work and timing to craft and forge that arrow into the beautiful, effective, useful arrow it was meant to be. Arrows need to be formed. And if God says children are like arrows, these children I'm giving you as a reward, they're like arrows, then friend, children need to be formed. When you think about it, that forming really begins the very moment those children enter our lives. Early on, teaching